family in particular because, the Treggs family has never won a big game. So he said that this is the biggest game of the season in his eyes because he never got a chance to beat him. And I think it'll be a great honor for me as his son to go out there and win the big game.
Bryce, how big of a scar in his otherwise pretty great career was that, do you think?
I think it was a pretty big scar because I remember one game one time when they played Stanford, he promised that he would move to Palo Alto if they didn't get that win, and obviously they didn't win because he didn't beat them. So it's a big deal for our family. I would say that's the one blemish on his career here.
Can you talk about why the deep passing game hasn't been as effective recently? Is it a matter of, is Jared just not as sharp with those balls, or is your offensive line not giving him enough time, or do you think it's possible that defenses have started to figure out how to scheme you guys and your offense a little bit?
I think it's a little bit of all that because there are times when we beat the guy deep and, it's just an overthrown ball or the ball goes out of bounds. So it's just some bad luck that we have. But guys are getting open downfield. We just have to find a way to hit those deep balls. And I think that with time and with Jared maturing, I think that'll dramatically increase.
What do you remember about playing against Stanford last year in terms of their defensive backs and what sort of things they do to try to disrupt you, and how, just kind of describe how their defensive plays?
Their defensive backs are very physical. They really try to get their hands on you and try to maneuver you out of your route and really disrupt you from going deep. They play what I call a catch technique, where they sit and basically just pat their feet and get their hands on you.
And Bryce, as a competitor, how do you feel about going into a game in which no one outside the Cal locker room gives you any chance of winning at all? What does that do for you as a competitor?
I would say we should use it as motivation because we're obviously, I think, 30-point underdog or somewhere around there. So that's the biggest focus of this week, is just beating the odds, is exceeding expectations of what everybody expects us to do. And we're just going to go out there and give it our best shot.
How much of a test has it been for you personally between what happened last season with all that, the coaching change, and now this year with obviously falling short of expectations? How much of a personal test has that been for you?
It's definitely been a strong character test of me in particular because, you lose games and you still have to come back to practice the next week and prepare as if you're undefeated or you have a winning record. So, it's a true test of your character when you go in every week and prepare as if you're undefeated, as if you're still playing to go to a bowl game. So it's just been a real character test for me.
Bryce, how do you think the team's handled that part of things, handling that character test this year? And what do you guys bring out of this season without a couple of real big, high-profile victories? What do you bring out of this season to help you move forward and build for next year?
I think that the team has handled it very well because if you go out there and you don't know our record, I think we practice like a undefeated team, like a 9-1 team. We have a lot of energy when we practice and we have fun out there. And the one thing I think we can take from this season without any victories is our work ethic, because I believe that our work ethic has been tremendous this season. We just need to find a way to transfer that work ethic on the game day. And once we do that, I think we'll be successful.
Okay, any further questions for Bryce?
Bryce, your teammate Michael Barton was just in here, and among the other questions he was asked, how do you beat Stanford? And other than just matching him physically, he said, I need a little bit of magic. What's your thoughts on how you can conceivably beat Stanford?
I think it's going to come down to the big plays because they're more of a ground and pound team. Our defense basically knows what they're going to do. They're going to try to run the ball and be more tough than us. And I think we should bring some of that also, but I think it's going to come down to the big play. We're going to have to make some leaping catches, some diving balls. We're going to have to make every single play that we've made in practice. We're going to have to transfer that to the game.